All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for watching this little mini webinar on Slack. And I'm Siobhan. So excited to be seeing you all, meeting you all in person in less than 2 weeks. And to really set us up right so that we can just kind of hit the ground running, I wanted to run through Slack because this is where we're going to be having the majority of our conversations and resource sharing, because Slack is one place where one communication device that to rule them all, so that if someone asks a question, other people can learn from that question, and I might only have to answer that question once as opposed to 7 times with everyone else. So that's why we're one of the main reasons why I like Slack, because it really opens things up and makes things less siloed, I think. And you can search it for different things. So before I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but let me just go through a few things here. We'll start up here in the top left. I'd like everyone, please, please, please upload a relatively recent photo of yourself so we can all see you. It's nice to really personalize things and and I think it'll also be tough. I know with my name is a little weird, and it's sometimes nice where people are like, they'll remember that I'm Siobhan, but they're not quite sure that that's how you spell my name. So it's nice to have the face next to the name. And I also have a bad short-term memory, so I think it'll be really nice after boot camp for everyone to be like, oh yeah, Siobhan, cool. And you can edit your, well, first let me show you where, oh boy, there I am. So you can click on yourself or your name, and you can edit your profile, and that's where you will change your photo and upload a photo and talk about yourself and stuff like that. Great, and you can just X right out there of your large photo there. But I like it when it's just a little thumbnail. And then I can edit my status and say I'm working remotely or I'm commuting or something, because I do those things. And you can work on your profile and account, as I already mentioned. We already looked at that. Preferences is one where you can choose a lot of different things. And you guys can just go through these, and it's all about, the notifications and stuff like that. I'm not really into receiving a lot of notifications. I get about 1 email a day from Slack, sort of as a reminder to check in. And I think checking in, oh, it's back. I think checking in once a day seems very reasonable. I check in a couple times a day and like working within it, and I'll show you why. But for you guys, just kind of checking in regularly will be helpful. You can set yourself away if you are you just want to leave it open while you're at work or something like that. And you're like, yeah, I'm going to lunch. So you can just set yourself away and you won't get any notifications or anything. Or yeah, if you want to like focus on something, set it to away and you won't get any notifications. And then help and feedback is always good, because there's always new things that you could learn and search for. Oh, and look, keyboard shortcuts. If you want to learn about keyboard shortcuts and doing things even more quickly and efficiently, you can look at that. So as you may have noticed, a lot of when you get there's these 3 panels in Slack. 1, 2, 3. And when you get more into this right-hand one, it's like more granular information. So they kind of lead into each other, if you're thinking of a hierarchy, as archivists might. A hierarchy of information. So that's help and feedback. And then this is our team here, MemLabNet. You could invite more people, potentially. We're on the free plan. Customize your Slack if you want to upload some emojis, that you have personally created. Loading messages. When Slack loads, you may have noticed that it gives you these nice messages and tips and inspirational quotes, so you can put your own in there. if you want, if you have time for this. So those are the things in this little tabby here. You can also put like do not disturb on and things like that, adjusting your schedule and all kinds of stuff. So then here, well, we'll go next to if you want to jump to something, just type it in and be like cool Slack bot, I don't know. Oh, a advisory board, or so that's a nice quick tool. It's all about being quick and efficient, and making our lives easier. All threads, if I just want to look at threads, which is like a bunch of comments and a conversation. And then here we have my starred items. So I have starred the bootcamp channel because it's like I wanna have quick access to it because that's coming up. So that's why you would. But if I don't want it to be starred anymore, maybe after bootcamp I will unstar it. But pretty quick, pretty easy to just star. And then channels, to get more specific about what those are, they're basically just topics. A lot of times people might have one for like, well, we have one for outreach, so sometimes people have it for like marketing or volunteers or things like that. It's just a hierarchy basically, and an organizing categories and themes. So digital preservation, we've got one there. Place for resources, questions, and troubleshooting regarding digital preservation and personal digital archiving. And you can just be more, you get to define the purpose of the channels and what they mean and things like that. So I'm not going to go through all these, but you get the point, and you can click on them, and then you can look at what their topics are and things like that. Up here, as I said, you can star the channel. You can see who's a member of that channel. And then, so we click on that, and it brought us over here to look at the members. We can look at pinned items, and you can pin them, you can also click here to look at the pinned items and adding topics. So you can just kind of get more specific in there, potentially. So you have your pinned items, as I mentioned, which we will jump to right now. And it shows up here. It's like, oh, here's your pinned item. So we click on it, and this is a schedule of completion of the grant. It's basically like shows you what should be done when. I thought that was a nice quick thing that I wanted to refer to a lot, so I pinned it. Oops. And you can pin things by going to them and pin to this channel. Boom. And then it'll be pinned and easy to find. But you can also star these things as well. Boop. So it could also show as your stars. Show starred items. There it is. I knew it was here somewhere. There we go. So here's all my starred stuff. Great. Gonna unstar that. Although you deserve a star. Everyone does. So that are your channels and things like that. And getting a little more granular into that. You can show channel details again. You can look at channel settings and go more granular into these things. Mute it if you're like, God, that's annoying. I don't want to get notifications from that anymore. Search it. Show at activity. So anytime anyone ats anyone, show your start items, and then if you want to, look at files and basically stuff that you already have here. And then you're like, oh yeah, let me go back to my keyboard shortcut too. I want to dismiss dialogues. I don't know. So we've got our channels, and you can go up and down in this little purple panel. So next we have direct messages, and you can talk with your Slack bot. And this is the bot. This is the robot that is Slack, and it has been programmed to talk to you. So this is where I like to ask questions. I like to test things out. Either in this one, in this little direct message with the Slack bot, you can ask him questions and he responds and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Here's Help Center. How do I upload a file? So then he gives you some, interesting tips. So if you ever are like, how do I do this thing? Ask Slapbot. See what he says. But I also like to use my conversation with myself that you can have, and it tells you here up here that, list your to-dos, drafts, sort of like note stuff and keep files that you want to keep, but you have to talk to yourself, so that's cool. And this is where I definitely like to play with things, but then, and put reminders and put, not necessarily to-dos. I'll show you where I put those, although sometimes there's some overlap there. But I think this is a good time. This is like where I like to kind of keep track of information, certain types of information. So if you click in this little comment tab here, click on the plus on the left, and you can do different things within this. And you can add files, there's your, add code if you want, connect something from your Google Drive or your computer. But I also like this thing of creating a post here where it will load slowly. And basically what this is you get to create lists where you can check things off. And I love lists and I love checking things off. So this is really great for me. Make a list. And then when you go under this little thing, you can have different headings and things, and you can have bullets and numbers. But I love these little check boxes. Look at list, add things to list, do things on list, check things off list. Great. So then you hit share, and you could share this to a channel, or you can just share it with yourself, which is what I typically do. You can comment about it. You can let others edit it as well. So I shared it with myself. I can go back here, and there it is. And then you can click to make it, to look at it more, because they like to keep things short so it helps you find things. And then you can collapse it as well back to its little self. And then if you want to edit it, you click this one. It says edit in a new window, and it'll open it up slowly again. It's connecting. And you can check things off, and it's great. And then that just kind of automatically. You can share it again. And the same thing, but I've also just exited out of things before. And when you reload your page. And don't forget to stretch. It says Slack. It's good for you. How's your, posture? Wow, it's taking a while. Great. Look, see, the checks are there. Yay. Okay. So another thing that I like to use, and that I like to use in Slackbot over here, is the remind. So actually, first, the fun thing to do is just to go and hit the backslash, and then you can just scroll through and look at all the things that you can do. It's pretty cool. This one's really important, just the backslash shrug. It's gonna come in pretty handy. Watch this one. I don't know. That's a great one. I love emojis. So here we're gonna add a reaction to this. and I really love looking at it. That's great. I can also make a comment about how much I love emojis. And that'll be there, and it'll be a whole thread, and I can even star it and be like, this is so cute, and I can share it with other people. I can edit it, mark it as unread, and then feel like I, you know, get to watch it again, look at it again. So yeah, that is those various things. So I've typed the backslash again, and here is my remind. So you can see here, it also like helps you and like walks you through all this stuff. So if I want to remind myself, oh yeah, and you can just say me. Remind me, that's me, to drink water every day at 10 a.m. And then you hit enter. Come on. Remind. Oh, I don't think you, I think if I just put me. Yes. It will remind me to drink water every day. Great. I don't want it to do that though, so I'm going to delete it. So great. That is pretty useful, and I could remind a whole channel, as you can see, or I could at someone else and tell them what to do and when to do it. And it'll and Slackbot, your friendly Slackbot friend, will remind you. You know what else I love about emojis? You know, if I type something and say, this is important news, confirm receipt, then people can be like, all right, I got it. Yep, I received it. You know, you can be like, cool. Oh, well, no, not that one. But you could be like, cool. There we go. Be like, yes, I saw it. You don't have to tell me again. I am aware. So that's a fun thing too. Like emoji, you don't have to be like, anyway, I like emojis. So that is a fun thing. I've told you about reminders and making posts. Those are important. And about talking to yourself and making lists and posts in there. And then you have your direct messages with others, and you can just boop and make one and pick who you want to have your direct message to right there. And then down here we have our apps here that show up here. There are other apps that we have access to that for some reason don't show up there. I'm not really sure why. But we can see here what the ones that are integrated into my my Slack. And I picked ones that are good project management ones. And there are a couple other ones actually that are fun that I won't go through necessarily, but you can create polls. We could have a Google Hangout within Slack. There are other, like TomatoBot helps you manage your productivity, so it'll basically like have a timer and keep track of like it basically so you can focus for 25 minutes, and it'll let you know when the 25 minutes is up. And you can like remind yourself within that 25 minutes and say, follow up on this. We've got potential diagrams, and GIFs are so important. I mean, you know, if emojis are great, GIFs are even better. So here we go. Giphy. Love. Well, that could get weird. Happy. You just press enter. Look, it picks one randomly that's been tagged as happy. So you can also, if you're like, I really want to find a solid GIF to send someone, you're like, Giphy cat disco. That is the one I wanted actually. But, oh wait, no. Giphy cat disco again. Okay, that's weird. But that was tagged as cat disco. So if I had gotten that one first, I would have been like, no, that's not the one I want. But this is the one I want. So then you could be like, okay, I want to send this to someone. Now I've got my right one. I've got my good one. Oh, wait, where'd it go? I sent it somewhere. Oh, I posted it. Oh, cool. So, like, you could be like, no, that's not what I wanted. Please don't post it, because when you send it, it actually posts it and everyone else can see it. But since it's just a message to myself, it's just me. But now it's official that this is on my personal chat with myself. So that's good. Please use GIFs. It will make me very happy. So the other thing about your apps, which I got distracted by the Giphy app, which is an app, but that's so that we can look at this cat disco GIF. The To-Do Bot is a cool app, and it links out to this Workist app where you can do more specific things. You can see it kind of looks like Slack a little bit, but I really like to try and do everything within Slack because, like, who needs another thing? So if you type to do within that, and you can do it in any of them, but I just tend to do it within my, in any of the channels or messages. So if I said to do, this is in my personal message to myself, to do cat disco GIF. Oh goodness, search by Tuesday, April 10th. Yeah. Cool. And if I click on this, it'll take me back out to to the Workist thing. But it's like, great. Cool. I've got my due date. And then I could like click on my tasks and it'll have all my lists. This is what I love about it. It's just like all your it's my to-do list. That's why I like to check in every morning, and it gives me my to-do list for the day. And I've done some of these things, so you could be like, select some things to do that you're like, okay, I did it, and then a green check appears, or a white check with green around it. I can do so many of these. It's great. So I love checking things off. So that is to do. But if you need help in anything, and you're like, I don't really remember all the things I can do, most of the times you just like type help at the end of it, and it'll tell you all these quick little things and the major things that you can do. But then you can, and then it'll be like, click here for more knowledge or whatever. And if you want to just like get rid of that and be like, I don't want to look at that, I want to look at this, you just dismiss. Great. So then, let's see if I can do that with remind help. I wonder if they'll tell me. Yeah, see? And then they'll just, you need some help? Yeah, I do, Slackbot. And see, Slackbot will talk to you even when you're not, especially if you type help, it'll talk to you even if you're not in your little direct message with Slackbot. So this has been Slack, and this is us. This is representative of all of us within Slack, and because we're so happy about all the work we're getting done and how efficient we're being and how much fun we're having. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Like I said, I'm not an expert on Slack, but these are ways that I feel like I have been more organized because of it, and I feel like I, can work more efficiently and more fun. Let me know if you have any questions, if you have any tips yourself, and I can't wait to see you guys April 16th, bright and early.